Yesterday, Alex Rodriguez, considered one of the best baseball players of all time, was hit with the longest doping suspension in history. After a contentious private hearing, Major League Baseball's arbitration judge took the Yankee third baseman out of the game all of next season. This despite the fact that there is no positive drug test for Rodriguez. After the decision, Rodriguez repeated that he has never taken performance-enhancing drugs in the years that he's played for New York. Tonight, you are going to hear details of the evidence for the first time, much of it from Anthony Bosch, who ran a secret doping practice for pro athletes. It was last summer, after Bosch was exposed, that Rodriguez and 13 others, all Bosch's clients, were suspended. All accepted their penalties, except Rodriguez, who appealed. In Rodriguez's appeal hearing, Tony Bosch testified for 5 days behind closed doors. Tonight, he speaks publicly for the first time.
Once Alex Rodriguez was fully into your protocol, what were the various banned substances that he was taking?
Testosterone, insulin growth factor, 1, human growth hormone, and some different forms of peptides.
And he knew that?
Yes, he did. He knew
and
that.
You knew that?
And I knew that.
Was Rodriguez injecting himself with these substances?
Alex is scared of needles. So at times he would ask me to inject.
You've injected him?
Yes.
Personally?
Personally.
Tony Bosch told us Alex Rodriguez became his client in 2010. Bosch says he supplied pro athletes with banned drugs almost 10 years, a corrupt sideline to his anti-aging clinic called Biogenesis, which was once in this Florida office building. On August 4th, 2010, Rodriguez hit his 600th home run in his quest to become the greatest home run hitter of all time. Tony Bosch told us it was 5 days before this moment that he was summoned to a Florida hotel to meet Rodriguez for the first time.
The first words out of his mouth were, what did Manny Ramirez take in 2008? And what were you giving? What were you giving Manny Ramirez?
Out towards right center field for Manny Ramirez.
Bosch says Manny Ramirez came to him at the age of 35, and the next season he nearly doubled his home runs. Ramirez retired in 2011 after testing positive for doping. Bosch says that Rodriguez wanted in on the secret.
Alex cared. Alex wanted to know. He would study the product. He would study the substance. He would study the dosages. Because he wanted to achieve all his human performance, or in this case, sports performance, objective, and the most important one was the 800 home run club.
The 800 home run club.
Which was only going to have one member, Alex Rodriguez.
Bosch told us to tailor a doping program for Rodriguez, he needed to know how long various drugs stayed in Rodriguez's body. He says doses and timing were critical, so Rodriguez would not test positive after a game. Bosch says he often drew Rodriguez's blood at specific times to see how quickly the drugs dissipated. He remembers one night a blood test was supposed to be done precisely at 8 o'clock, but Rodriguez was in a Miami nightclub.
So we ended up drawing the blood in the bathroom of this one restaurant slash bar slash club in the bathroom stall at 8 p.m.
With the crowd there?
With the crowd right there.
People coming in and out of the men's room, I take it, and you're in a stall with Alex Rodriguez drawing his blood.
Yes. As crazy as that sounds.
What were you thinking?
I'm not getting paid enough.
Bosch told us he was getting paid $12,000 a month in cash. In return, Bosch prepared this elaborate drug schedule for Rodriguez. Bosch says that his records show the days and times of injections, plus when to use skin creams and oral medications. 6 substances on this list are banned: One is testosterone troches or lozenges. Bosch also calls them gummies, which he says were taken in combination with growth hormone and all the rest.
He would put one of these troches in his mouth probably about 10, 15 minutes before game time, or as soon as he went into the field. A player could take it right before game time, and by the time they get back into the locker room after the game, and there was any possibility of testing, they would test negative. They would test clean.
If you were telling Alex Rodriguez to take these gummies a few minutes before the game, he's taking these in the locker room or the dugout. That's quite an image.
Quite an image. They're so small that you could literally, while sitting in the dugout, take it, put it in your mouth, and people could think is either sunflower seeds or a piece of candy or a piece of gum, for that matter.
And how would that help if he took it just a few minutes before a game?
Well, now all of a sudden, his levels of testosterone are higher. It gives him a little bit, it gives him more energy, it gives him more strength, it gives him more focus. And in combination with the growth hormone, that combination would make playing the game of baseball a lot easier.
You know, a lot of people are watching this interview right now saying, how could he? How could you?
Right.
What's the answer to that question?
I did it because I had a responsibility. I felt I had a responsibility to do it, to let them know that if they're going to take something like this, do it the right way.
You might have said to these players when they came to you, look, don't do any of this stuff. It breaks the rules of baseball. Don't do this. Did you ever say that?
No, I never said that. My approach to all this, and I'll stand by it now and I'll stand by it forever, was you're going to do this. Let me show you how to do this. Let me educate you. And let's do it the right way. And sure, let's not get caught while we're doing this.
Bosch's education in doping is self-taught. He studied at a medical school in Belize, but he has never had a license to practice. He grew up in Miami, and to us he seemed like a troubled guy, heavy drinker, heavy smoker, dealing in prescription drugs. We found no criminal record other than traffic violations and a citation for practicing medicine without a license, for which he was fined $5,000.
A lot of people are going to say if you hadn't been caught, you'd still be doing it.
I would have to say yes. But that's not what happened. I got caught. So I did what was the right thing to do. So yes, would I be doing it if I didn't get caught? I'd still be doing it. I'm here to say the truth, so that is the truth.
One thing is certainly true. Bosch has lied about this case. He's had it both ways. This is what he said after the scandal broke.
No comment. I'm a nutritionist. I don't know anything about performance-enhancing drugs.
Bosch says the story he tells today is backed up by hundreds of text messages that he says he exchanged with Rodriguez. We have more than 500 of them. They are BlackBerry BBM messages. Major League Baseball says the PIN number attached to the messages matches a BlackBerry owned by Rodriguez. Bosch says those testosterone lozenges were taken both before and during a game. This question came from the device linked to Rodriguez. Gummy at 10:45 a.m., game at 1 p.m. Bosch responded, 10:30 a.m.
What difference does 15 minutes make?
All the difference in the world. Every difference in the world. Every minute counts.
At what point in a game was too late to take a trophy? What inning?
In Alex's case, probably right after the first inning, second inning.
Any later than that, and there was a chance the testosterone would turn up in the league's random post-game urine tests. Bosch says that Rodriguez was tested by baseball more than a dozen times. All turned out negative. He told us He'd given Rodriguez tips on ways to beat that test.
You want to start the test and then introduce the urine cup into the stream, and what you want to capture is the middle of the stream, not the beginning or not the end of the stream. That was extremely important because most of the metabolites are either in the beginning of the stream or at the end of the stream.
It's that precise.
It's that precise.
During this 2012 game, Rodriguez drove in 3 runs
A-Rod hits a deep one to center.
and smashed a 418-foot double.
Alex Rodriguez in his hometown of Miami has given the Yankees a 4-2 lead.
The next morning, a message from the Rodriguez BlackBerry read, "Really good, explosive." Bosch replied, "Go with same protocol." What we didn't find in the messages is the name of any performance-enhancing drug. Rodriguez's lawyer has said that's because they were talking about nutrition. But Bosch says it's because they used code words. He says the word cohete, misspelled in the message, is Spanish for rocket, and that meant injectable drugs, according to Bosch. Night cream was loaded with testosterone. In 2012, a message attributed to Rodriguez's BlackBerry said, "Feel good. Big day tomorrow. What do you have?" Bosch texted back these instructions.
1 click of night cream at night, 1 cohote at night, 1 click of night cream in the morning, 1 gummy in the AM, 4 clicks of day cream before leaving the field, 1 cohote in AM, pink cream before the game, any oral pills in the AM. Alex had a great game. He doubled, he scored twice. What did his performance tell you about what you had told him to take?
That we had the right protocol.
I wonder why he trusted you so much.
I was very good at what I did. I had a track record. I have been doing this for many years. If you had the knowledge that I had, the experience that I had, and then you know the truth about the testing and the flaws, it was almost a cakewalk, actually.
A cakewalk.
Yeah.
To beat the system.
To beat the system.
To cheat.
To cheat.
But did you ever think about the integrity of the game?
No, I never did. I didn't know. I love the game of baseball.
How can you love the game of baseball and do this to?
Because unfortunately, this is part of baseball. This is part of baseball. When you ask these guys to play 100+ games back to back, jump on a plane, get off a plane, all these road trips, their bodies break down. This has always been part of the game. Always been part of the game. And so their nutrition it's extremely important.
But come on, Tony, we're not talking about nutrition and massage therapy and all those sorts of things. We're talking about drugs that are banned, that are illegal in the sport. They knew what they were doing. You knew what you were doing, and it cuts to the heart of fair play.
What is fair play? Let me ask you that question. How about this? Follow me in thought. Here I am, I'm Alex, and I'm at the plate, and I know that the guy is throwing the 95-mile-per-hour pitch. Sports performance enhancing drugs. The guy who's going to catch the ball is on a program. The guy the guy that I have to tag at third from a throw from center field, when he's sliding, he's on it. Fair play? Fair play. If everybody's on it, wouldn't that be fair play?
Of course, not everybody is on it, and those who play clean are probably outraged right about now by that sweeping indictment Bosch made in our interview. Baseball Commissioner Bud Selig told us that the league's unprecedented investigation was aimed at protecting those clean players.